All right, 2.7b. We're going to do some applications that involve solving rational equations. Weird stylus. All right. Okay, just two problems. One involves chemistry. Do you like chemistry? No? Okay. Awesome. All right, let's say that we have a mixture. Okay, we have a solution of some acid, and and we got to add more acid to make it more acidic. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. So how much? No, that didn't make sense. Yes. How much pure acid? How much pure acid must be added? Not that kind of acid, Preston. Must be added to a 50 milliliter of 35% acid solution. Yeah? Did you do stuff like this? Okay, so how much pure acid must be added to a 50 milliliter of 35% acid solution to produce a mixture that is 75% acid? To produce a mixture of 75% acid. Okay, so right now we have a solution and it's only 35% acid in there. We want to up it, but we got to add some pure acid to make it to be 75%. Okay, so this is what you're going to do. The milliliters of acid over the milliliters of your mixture, that gives you your percent concentration. Does that make sense to you? It's kind of like, adding up points, concentration, on your test. Did I spell that right? Concentration, yeah. It's like if you get a 4 out of 5. You got 4 points out of 5 total. You have milliliters of acid over your total mixture. That gives you your percent concentration. Now what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to add X amount of acid to make it 75%. So here's what you do. First you have to find out how much acid's already in there. Okay? How are we going to find out how much acid we have? Perfect. You take 35% and multiply it times 50. Take the percentage, multiply it times 50, and you end up getting 17.5 milliliters. So right now we have 17.5 out of 50. That makes our 35%. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to take X amount, we're going to add it to 17.5. That's going to give us our acid. Now if I'm adding acid, then I'm also adding it to the entire mixture. So my mixture now becomes what? X plus 50, and I need to get this to be 75%. Does that equation make sense to you? Yeah? Not necessarily. So this is the amount of acid. You're adding it to the pure acid, but you're also adding it to the mixture, the total mixture. Okay? All right, and then how do you solve this? Do you know how to solve this? Cross multiply. Very good. So you cross multiply, and you get 0.75x plus 0.7550. What is that? 37.5. Yeah. 37.5 equals x plus 17.5. All right, so now we get to solve this equation. So let's go ahead and subtract 0.75x over to the other side. So we have a 1x minus 0.75x. So that gives us 0.25x plus 17.5. Subtract 17.5 over to the other side. You get 20. Can you solve this in your head? What's 0.25 as a fraction? 1/4. Multiply both sides by 4. X equals 80 milliliters. There you go. So you got to add 80 milliliters of pure acid to get to 75%. This is why I liked chemistry, but then it got really hard, so I stopped. Yes, I like the math part of chemistry. Oh, you used to like math until this year?
What is that?
Awesome. Yeah. What is what?
Like the 75%.
Oh. So we're trying to produce a mixture of 75% acid. That was our original problem. Yeah. Yeah. You need to add 80 milliliters. You could see if it's right. If I add 80 to 17.5, I get what? 97.5. And then I add 80 to 50, 130, 75%. Okay, number 2. Now number 2, you're going to need your calculator. We're gonna graph this one on our calculator and solve it that way. So it says here that we are given a rectangle, okay, and our rectangle has an area of 200. Now it's our job to use as little material possible to build a fence around this, okay? We want to minimize the perimeter. It's a really good calculus problem. I know, but we're getting ready. We're getting there. Minimize the perimeter, okay? In calculus, we find the formula, we take the derivative, we set it equal to 0, and we solve. Right, Bobby? And we find the minimum.
Do you know if we get a W, if we drop math?
You don't know. You could drop into regular advanced math.
Oh. Completely drop math.
It's not week 13, right? I think it's nothing. Is it nothing? It's a W. It's a withdrawal. It's a win. Yeah, you take the W, not the L. Okay, here we go. So this is X, and this is Y. And so we're going to find the area, and we'll find the perimeter, okay? So the area would be what? X times Y equals 200. And then the perimeter, what's the perimeter of this rectangle? Perfect. 2x plus 2y. Okay? So now what we need to do is we need to minimize this p right here, this perimeter. But right now it's in 2 variables. So let's solve for y here and get it into 1 variable. Okay? So you take this and you solve for y. So y equals 200 divided by x. It doesn't matter if you solve for x or y. It really doesn't. And then take 200 over x and plug that in for y. So p equals 2x plus 200 over x. And now we're going to graph this and find the minimum. Yeah? To 400. Oopsies. Thank you. You cannot believe how many mistakes I've made today in first and second period. It's crazy. Where I'm at. All right, so here we go. Go to y equals, you go to your calculator, and you graph 2x plus 400 divided by x. Now, if you hit zoom window, standard window, it's not going to show up. Okay? So now you have to change it. You got to think about x and y. X and y are sides of this rectangle. Okay? The area is 200, right? So maybe x is, I don't know, let's go 0 to 50. And let's do y 0 to 50. Even that's probably too big. That's okay. And graph. Oh, did it not work? Did I do something wrong?
You could have. Probably should.
Well, 100. We got to go to 100. 0 to 100 and 0 to 100.
What is that?
Okay? So go ahead and graph those.
Oh my goodness.
Okay. Yeah, it's a rational function. We're going to graph these tomorrow. All right, so go ahead and calculate the minimum. Calculate number 3, the minimum, and you got to go left and right. Left and right. Hit enter. And you get that x equals approximately 14.14. Okay. Let's go ahead and find out what y is. What do you think y is?
I will say something around a number.
200 divided by 14.14. Guess what?
A number. Oh my.
It's a square. Again.
Oh, yeah.
It's always a square. Do you know what the square root of 200 is? 14.14.
Who knows? It could be a letter now, too.
It's really good. How do you get y? Oh, y equals 200 over x. So you plug x in. Solve for y. Substitution.